folks, it's Zach Elliott, and feel free to argue. First things first, I want to thank Heather, Jack Luck Avenged, for giving me a shout out on her channel. And a lot of people, signed up. Probably about 10 of you signed up based on her recommendation, it looks like. Though you're probably wondering why she recommended this guy who never does videos. Oh, man. Had kind of an unfortunate couple of weeks. Various things going on. Computer problems, illness, both my kids being sick, and then of course, when your kids get sick, what happens to you? Basically consisted of me being on my couch for about 3 days, feeling like I was being inflated with a bicycle pump. Depressing stuff. But anyway, thanks to all these things, I haven't even really been keeping up with the news very much, though apparently teabaggers are now calling for the violent overthrow of our government. Hey, where were these people when, Bush was declaring illegal wars and shit? Today's my birthday, too. That'll make you reflective, especially when you get up in the years like I do. 47 years old. Coming up on 50, half a century. Unlikely to make it to the century mark. Do not have the genetics nor the willpower to maintain a decent lifestyle so that I'm going to live that long. So, I've lived over half my life at this point. I got my head around that. May have lived a whole lot more of it. But you know what's interesting? Just recently I've been getting a lot more at peace with dying. I hadn't been for a long time. Atheist is a little hard to get used to the notion of dying. You're not going anywhere. But it was weird. Just a little while ago, came to the realization that I'd be okay with dying. Not that I want to. I'd like to be around for quite a while longer. It's a fucked up world, but I do find it interesting. And I love my friends. I really do. I feel like I have a decent amount of them. It's enough for me. Enough to make me happy. But the bigger point is, I guess I'm at peace. Which is an odd thing to say, considering, those of you who have been watching me on YouTube for a while know that I can get pretty worked up about stuff. But when it gets right down to it, I can let it go. I feel good about what I've done in my life. I feel good especially good about how much laughter I've spread. I really feel good about that. That doesn't come across as much, I think, in my YouTube presence, because it's something that springs up, in my interactions with people. And I love conversation. Conversation is like jazz to me. It's the shit. That's what I live for. Makes me happy that I have this tool to talk to people, even if not very many people are listening. I appreciate you all. Appreciate the people who watch me and never comment. I just think it's really cool. I still very gee-whiz about it. The whole notion of recording something and then somebody, in Australia, Saudi Arabia, or some shit will watch it. They'll feel something. Maybe they'll sign up. It's amazing. It really is. One of the things actually I've been meaning to talk a bit about is got a personal philosophy. It's my stand-in for religion, actually, since I don't have any religion. Don't even have any old-time religion. Though what I've got is pretty old-time. I'm actually a follower of Stoicism. It's a rather ancient philosophy. Two primary writers in Stoicism are an old Roman general, Marcus Aurelius, and a slave, or at least a former slave, named Epictetus. There's a lot of stuff in Stoicism about, cultivating individual virtue, etc. Which I think is a useful thing to do. But probably its greatest use to me is in terms of the way that it teaches you to look at the world and your role in the world. Aside from the fact that, you're trying to be the best person you can be. But in terms of like the rest of the world, you have to be very serious and very careful in determining what you are in control of, honestly. And that's really the heart of Stoicism, is an honest acknowledgement of what is and isn't within your control. Because I think a lot of the problems that people have in the world, a lot of the emotional anger and upset they have, comes from thinking that they are in control of things that they're not. I am as prone to this as the next person. I try to follow the tenets of Stoicism, but to use the language of religion, I am a miserable sinner, and I do fail. I get upset about things that are outside of my control, and I have to step back and remind myself that, nope, you can get mad at that because it represents a wrong and you do not like wrong, but remember that you are not in charge of this wrong or its righting, except insofar as you talk about it, alert people to its presence. But in terms of actually righting that wrong, that's not you. You can't do it. So, you may not like economic injustice, but it's not your job to stop it. And it's not your failure if it doesn't stop. You may not like the war in Iraq, but you didn't start it, you can't stop it. And it's not your fault if it continues. And I think it's hard because, especially when it gets a bit more personal, you can give up the fact that you don't control the economy. You can give up the fact that you don't control our foreign policy. But when you look at the people around you, and you have to look at a person and say, you know what, I'm not running their life. I can't make them do anything. It can be very humbling to truly acknowledge your limitations, to truly be honest about how little control you have in the world. So, I don't know, that's me on my birthday, getting contemplative. And also, having all the new subscribers. I wanted to kind of give you guys a feel for what sort of a person you got yourself mixed up with on Heather's account. So hopefully you found this interesting. If you didn't, you can go ahead and unsubscribe. No skin off my nose. I'm just an old guy. I'm surprised anybody watches me at all. Anyway, this is Zach Elliott. And especially for those of you who are new, you can always feel free to argue. Very serious about that. So, you have any bones to pick with me, by all means, pick away. Zach Elliott. Have a good day, everyone.
Go ahead, you can laugh all you want, 'cause I got my philosophy. 'Cause I'm trusting